Hey y'all, Hurdle here, and today we're talking about Mephisto. Now this is a little different from my usual videos. Instead of discussing a how to play, which I was initially going to do, I've been working on this video for weeks now, and I'm really having trouble finding out something that I like about Mephisto. So instead, I decided to do a video about why I think Mephisto is the worst new hero in Heroes of the Storm. Let's talk about it right now. Mephisto is a very difficult champion to pick up and play, which doesn't necessarily make him bad. There are some very high skill cap characters that are actually a hell of a lot of fun. My problem with Mephisto is that there's not really any role he fulfills that somebody doesn't actually do better than him right now. And they're usually easier and more fun to play. Perfect example of this is really Kale Boss. If you can pick Kale, why would you pick Mephisto? He has the same backline clear, he has much more consistent and reliable damage, and he has an actual CC, whereas Mephisto does not. While Mephisto does have some good strengths, like his Lord of Hatred, which lets him use his basic abilities much more quickly, and you can build that up. He has some okay wave clear, and supposedly some good follow-up. The only problem is other characters do all of this better while providing the same utility he does or more. Even his Consume Souls, which is a fairly interesting global damage slash finisher, is not as good as it seems at first. Honestly, the only time you're really going to get a lot of value out of that is if you are maybe picking off a straggler or mostly after or before team fights. But if it's a team fight, wouldn't you just be better off doing something that can hit everybody, like Kale's Phoenix? Yes, he has some good pursuit, but the only problem is the Shade of Mephisto is very punishable. And all the guides will say this as well, you know, he requires a lot of help for his setup, he has to have perfect positioning, and his Skull Missile has like a weird delay on it. And again, he is not a terrible hero. I don't mean to say that and get everybody all worked up and like, I fucking love Mephisto and you're a piece of shit, fight me IRL. It's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is I think he is the weakest of the new heroes, and he doesn't provide any utility that somebody else doesn't do better right now. And unfortunately, it's really kind of a letdown because he is a very interesting character in the lore. He has the potential to be very cool, but I feel like they kind of just designed his build around well, how can we make him different from people without, how can we make him fun to play? I mean, even his Lightning Nova seems like a really cool ability until you realize you have to keep people on the rim of it, and all they have to do to avoid half of the damage from it is step back. Cool idea, great if somebody, you know, roots or CCs, but it's nothing that somebody else can't do better. And that's really my problem with him, is while he is fun, while he can be really cool, he just doesn't have a place that's really his own where he shines, because somebody else is a better pick. Sure, in ranked draft, you could pick him if somebody else picked Kale ahead of you, or KT, or somebody you were going to play. But I really just don't feel like he has the strength or the toolkit to really do him justice. And it's unfortunate because he is a pretty cool hero. He just has too high of a learning curve to be truly effective, and then once you get there, you realize, I spent all this time learning how to position, how to do all this better, and I can just play another caster and do better with them. I mean, even Kel'Thuzad has amazing abilities, great, you know, CC compared to Mephisto at least, and a global which can hit. Granted, it doesn't hit everybody, but it's a great denial tool and arguably more useful. Because yes, you can global with Mephisto's Consume Souls, but the only problem with that is once you hit that, if it doesn't finish them, you're back on cooldown, and all they have to do is clear a couple of waves or go drink or even maybe beat. Like, is it worth it? It's just not a very effective hold, unfortunately. So I would love to see them do some more work on Mephisto, make him more fun, make him more useful. I'm not saying dumb him down. You don't have to dumb him down. Like, I like high skill cap characters because it gives you something to work for, and it gives you a sense of accomplishment when you get somewhere with a character that other people can't play well. You're like, damn, maybe I'm not fucking garbage at this game. But if you train up and you get good with Mephisto and you realize, you're like, damn, I should have been playing somebody else and then I'd still be winning. it's frustrating. So my thoughts on this are change Mephisto up a little bit. Like, while I do think that he has a very interesting toolkit, his abilities are very unique. Like, Shade of Mephisto seems like a really cool idea. Leaving a guide to where he's gonna be when he blinks back is not really a skill thing so much as a, well, we're gonna punish the shit out of you for using this thing. It's unfortunate because I think he has the ability to do some really cool things, but I think that he needs to get some upgrades, get a rework already, which is a shame because, like I said, he is the newest assassin. You know, this is before Orphea has officially launched. He needs some work. I think he needs a little bit of love. He's almost like the Abathur of ranged assassins. You have to think tactically to play him. I just wish that it was more rewarding to do so. He doesn't really have escapes. He doesn't have a lot of sustain. He really doesn't have any decent CC. I mean, you could argue that his other ult is CC because it hits and then it can spread and root other people, but if you do that, you sacrifice your global, and it's a bad trade-off to make. I would love to see him be more competitive, more rewarding for mastery, because right now, while he can be fun and yes, you can get some really cool plays off, it's just not consistent enough. I feel like too much of his damage relies on his teammates, and unfortunately in this game and in every game, relying on your teammates, especially when it's random people playing, which is the majority of people that you will play with are going to be random in this game. I mean, unless you have a group of friends and you all log on together all the time, in which case, great for you. This probably doesn't apply to you. But for the rest of us, learning to play with randoms means learning to do things for yourself. And unfortunately, Mephisto doesn't really excel there. And I would love to see a little bit more for him in terms of being able to do decent damage without having to get a huge setup and having not necessarily more survivability, but maybe less punishment for poor placement. Again, I don't hate Mephisto. I just think that he is the weakest in the current batch of assassins that we've been given, and really the weakest new hero that we've gotten recently. I mean, thinking back, I can't off the top of my head come up with another hero who really just didn't get a lot of love and struggles as much as Mephisto seems to. So this may be totally different at high level rank play. I don't play high level rank play. I play like mid level, and nobody picks him for good reason, because it's really hard to play well with him when you have to rely on people you don't know intimately or don't communicate with directly. So these are just my thoughts. Feel free to disagree. You know, if you hate this and you're like, no, fuck you, Mephisto is the boss. Hey, we're all entitled to our opinion. I'm sharing mine. Share yours in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Am I dead on? Am I completely wrong? Do I have my head up my ass? I want to hear about it. Comment below if you do like it. Like, if you want to cuss me out, subscribe first. And until next time, I will see you in the Nexus.